Hi and welcome to La Mia Raw. This is Erika, and today I want to talk to you about the food that can set your emotions free. Why this topic? Because what we eat may say a lot about who we are. It can actually reveal our most intimate emotions, but sometimes we don't realize it, and that's because the system we live in today promotes and feeds us food that creates addiction. Foods which chemistry has been artificially altered, foods stuffed with hormones and full of sugar, foods that suppresses our deepest emotions and also hides the physical symptoms connected to them. And what happens is those emotions and symptoms often come out to the surface with a vengeance, with an explosion, when often even the physiological symptoms are beyond repair almost. Um, in this regard, I really recommend you read a famous book, maybe you know it. It's called Fat, Sugar, Salt by Michael Moss. It's really helpful in order to get a detailed insight on what the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry are doing on our health. A very eye-opening reading. So basically, man living in the Western society has created for himself a destructive mechanism, going for junk food as a relief upon those uncomfortable emotions. Emotions that could truthfully reveal maybe false beliefs we need to change, traits of our personality that need to mature, or maybe even past traumas sometimes and experiences that still haven't been processed inside. um, the most important thought I'd like to point out at you here is that we are made of energy. And for that reason, the more we consume food that's in its natural state and that hasn't been artificially altered from how nature made it, the more we consume food that is still living, the more we will feel alive and full of energy, with a body that sets itself freer and freer from the so-called disease. But most importantly, we'll be able to free our mind and make it stable and clear. On the other hand, if we go to junk food, which include those foods that are not fit for our human species, we'll soon experience an escalation of heaviness, mental confusion, aging, depression, anxiety, and simply a progressive destructive loop on ourselves that begins on a cellular level. Okay, so some may say that many of the issues that I just listed could actually be addressed with or without a healthy diet. This video, in fact, doesn't want to blow upon the excellent work that counselors, life coaches, or psychologists do for people. But here, I just want to add to it how crucial and important is the food we eat in relation to our emotions. In order for you to really get what I'm expressing, I'd like to share my personal experience. When I was 19, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Within a few weeks, I found myself not being able to walk or doing even the simplest physical work without feeling excruciating pain on all my joints, with swelling, deformation of the joints as well. It was terrible, of course. The hospital and doctors offered me the only cure that existed: daily shots of cortisone, anti inflammatories, and other chemotherapeutic immune suppressor. I knew that that wasn't my path, but at that time I didn't have all the informations needed in order to make a proper choice. Why? Because I still didn't know myself well. Time went on, 9 years of painkillers and an alternative therapy that anyway kept me going quite okay, just managing life despite the disease. Then life moved me to try to eliminate animal products from my diet, and it was actually my father that became a vegan first. So I wanted to see if that could help me to see improvements in my health, or even heal, like many were saying. And for about a year with a vegan diet, nothing had changed, basically, all the same, still with arthritis. Then, through a dear friend, I discovered the work of Dr. Robert Morse, and I decided to go raw and detox with botanical herbs as well. So I started eating all raw fruits and vegetables, little fats, and a higher percentage of fruit throughout the day. Um, and there, everything changed. Within just 2 weeks, I was able to stop my injections, and after about 6 months, I was completely, totally free of any arthritis symptom. I was a new person, and the symptoms never came back. It's now been 4 years that I consider myself healed. And anyway, what I couldn't imagine was that the rheumatoid arthritis was just the tip of the iceberg. It was actually the last resource that my body had used to defend itself from the high level of acidosis and toxicity in it. And in the following 2 years, I had to face low blood pressure, which I always suffered a little bit from, but it increased, big digestive issues, low levels of B12, liver problems. But the raw food also brought up a lot of emotional issues to the surface. Stuff that I never had elaborated and healed from in the past. Traumas that my subconscious mind had held on for so long. And I know that many people at that time could have easily blamed the raw food, the detox process, saying that that was too extreme. But the truth is, the raw food got me to find out what was actually going on in my body and in my mind, below the layers of years of suppression. And it was really thanks to the diet that I could actually face all that and heal. And never giving up, moving forward in time. All those issues went away. Some of them took longer than others. Some are still in the process of healing now. But for instance, my B12 levels were one of the easiest to bring up, and now the levels is actually um, higher and higher over the top. It took longer for my digestive issues to get better. That was really tough. I have still rarely some bad days, but now it's way better. No comparison to how it was. But what I really want to underline in here is that we can have the best diet in the world and do all the work we want for our body, but if we don't face our deepest emotion, our emotional wounds, we'll always remain at the starting point of our journey. We'll remain stuck there. We cannot change the external world, ignoring what the inner self is trying to tell us, ignoring all the signals of what needs to change inside, what needs to be heard, to be understood, to simply be released, set free. And this is what Lamiaro would like to do here, assisting you both on a physical and emotional level with a healthy, all natural diet and with listening and setting our emotions free. So, thank you for listening. Please like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to Lamiaro, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Ciao!